Xbox Live Arcade hit with Bill. And so you talk about, talk about an honor. I mean, to be in the presence
you got
of
God on your side at that point.
Yeah, I mean, come on. This
as
is
far
the
as
guy.
Microsoft is concerned.
This is the guy, perhaps one of the most influential people in the history of the world, that has at least the modern world.
Sure, 20th century.
And I had the privilege of meeting with him multiple times because he asked for the meeting with me, little me, off to the side, in some corner of Microsoft and some little engine that could team. He asked Robbie, and Robbie asked me to meet with Bill because of Xbox Live Arcade. So he had took several meetings with me over the course of a couple years. He was personally interested in Xbox Live Arcade for a number of reasons. Number one, it was broadening the console. It was bringing in, different sorts of games. But number two, he personally was a casual gamer. He loved Zuma, in particular. And so he wanted to actually give feedback on the experience. His kids were little at the time. And so he said, this is actually something, the first time I can play with my kids at home on the weekend. We can actually play games together.
Did he tell you specifically what about that game he loved?
Oh, he loves it. And Bill is probably the single most brilliant person I've ever met in my entire life. Like he is at a different like a Stephen Hawking level of intelligence, and you think a guy like Bill Gates that's running at the time was the world's most valuable company that has 300-400 product units across Windows, Office, $10 billion SKUs, crazy technology complexity going on. You'd think that he wouldn't know very much about the little game stuff in the corner, let alone Xbox, let alone Xbox Live Arcade.
Right.
This guy comes in the very first time I sit down with him, and he's rattling off titles, feedback on the dashboard, ideas for feature innovation, things we hadn't rolled out yet, friends, leaderboards, other things, and was giving me feedback for PopCap, which at the time was a partner, on Zuma's mechanics. He is actually the guy that came up with the colorblind mode, because he's colorblind. The colorblind mode that actually we ended up implementing in all the PopCap games, most of the XBLA games that were color dependent. And then when I went to PopCap some years later, ended up implementing that feature into all of our games there as well, based on that.